Have you ever felt that incredible rush of satisfaction when you go out of your way to help someone? That warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you give your time, your energy, even your last dollar to someone in need. It feels good, right? Like you're making a real difference. But what if I told you that this very feeling, this desire to always be the giver, might be the very thing that's setting you up to be exploited? What if your kindness isn't just being unappreciated, but is actively feeding a monster? It's a shocking thought, but today we're diving deep into the dark psychology of the ungrateful and why sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to stop being so kind. Let's start with our first point, the savior's high. You see someone struggling, and your immediate instinct is to jump in and save the day. You solve their problem, they thank you profusely, and you walk away feeling like a hero. It's an intoxicating feeling, a powerful boost to your self-esteem. You feel needed, valued, and important. But here's the dark side. This constant need to be the savior can make you a prime target for manipulators. They sense your desire to fix things and will create an endless stream of crises for you to solve. You become their perpetual problem solver, their 24/7 support system, while your own needs and boundaries get completely erased. The psychologist Carl Jung warned about the dangers of the unlived life, the parts of ourselves we neglect. When you're constantly living for others, you're not living for yourself. Think about that friend who always has a financial emergency right before rent is due. You swoop in, pay their bill, and feel like you've done a good deed. But next month, it's the same story. By constantly bailing them out, are you helping them learn to manage their finances? Or are you just enabling their dependency? The moment you stop, you give them the opportunity to face their own responsibilities. By saying no, you're not being cruel. You're protecting your own resources and forcing them to finally grow. Next up, we have the empathy trap. You're a deeply empathetic person. You feel others' pain as if it were your own. And your natural response is to do whatever it takes to alleviate their suffering. It's a beautiful quality that makes you a wonderful friend and confidant. People feel seen and understood by you. The trap, however, is when this empathy becomes a weapon used against you. Ungrateful people are masters at playing the victim. They'll share sob stories, exaggerating their hardships to pull at your heartstrings. Your empathy kicks in and you're hooked. You give and give, driven by the desire to ease their pain, but you'll soon find it's a bottomless pit. They don't want a solution. They want a perpetual source of sympathy and resources, you. Machiavelli famously wrote that it's better to be feared than loved. While that's extreme, the principle holds a kernel of truth. If your kindness makes you predictable and easily manipulated, you will be taken advantage of. Imagine a coworker who always complains about their workload and how overwhelmed they are. You feel for them and offer to take on some of their tasks. At first, it feels helpful, but soon it becomes an expectation. Your own work suffers, but you're stuck in the empathy trap, afraid of seeming uncaring if you stop. The moment you politely say, "I'm sorry, I can't. I have to focus on my own projects," you reclaim your time and teach them that they are responsible for their own duties. You'll gain their respect, even if you lose their friendship, which was built on convenience anyway. Our third point is the fear of rejection. Deep down, many of us just want to be liked. We believe that by always saying yes, by always being available and helpful, we can secure our place in people's lives. Giving a favor feels like buying a little piece of social insurance. You feel accepted, part of the group, and safe from being ostracized. The brutal reality is that this people-pleasing is a form of self-abandonment. Ungrateful individuals can smell this fear a mile away. They know you're more afraid of their disapproval than you are of your own burnout. They'll use this fear to control you, making bigger and bigger asks, knowing you're too scared to say no. They don't respect you for your kindness. They see you as a doormat. Carl Jung spoke of integrating our shadow self, the parts of us we deem unacceptable, like selfishness or the ability to say no. Protecting yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Think of a family member who asks you to babysit at the last minute, every single weekend, disrupting your plans. You say yes because you don't want to cause a family rift or be seen as unsupportive, but you feel resentful and exhausted. What happens when you finally say, "I'd love to help, but I already have plans this weekend. I need some time for myself"? You're not just getting your weekend back, you're teaching them to respect your time and that your kindness is a gift, not an obligation. You affirm that your needs matter. This brings us to number 4, the illusion of control. Sometimes we help others because it gives us a sense of control over our chaotic world. When you can solve someone else's problem, it makes you feel powerful and competent, especially when you feel your own life is spiraling. It's a way of proving your worth to yourself. You fix their issues, and for a moment, you feel in charge. But this is a dangerous illusion. The more you meddle in others' lives, the less control you actually have over your own. Ungrateful people will gladly hand over the reins of their responsibilities to you. They remain passive and helpless while you do all the heavy lifting, draining your energy and distracting you from your own goals. You're not controlling the situation is controlling you. As Machiavelli might argue, a wise ruler doesn't fight every single battle for his subjects. He empowers them to defend themselves. Let's say your friend is trying to start a business and you pour hours into writing their business plan, designing their logo, and making calls for them. You feel invested and in control, but they aren't learning anything. When you step back and say, "I've helped you get started, now it's time for you to take the lead. I believe in you." You're not abandoning them. You are empowering them. You free yourself from a job that isn't yours and give them the priceless gift of self-reliance. Finally, we have the debt of gratitude. This is one of the most subtle and manipulative tactics. Someone does a small, often unsolicited favor for you. Then, when they need something, they remind you of their past kindness, creating a sense of obligation. You feel like you owe them. Giving in feels like you're just evening the score, maintaining a fair and balanced relationship. The sinister truth is that this is a calculated move. Ungrateful manipulators use small favors as leverage for much larger demands later on. They are creating a psychological debt that they can cash in at any time with interest. This isn't a relationship. It's a transaction where you always get the short end of the stick. You are being conditioned to comply. Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming your whole self, requires breaking free from these external manipulations and acting from a place of authentic choice, not obligation. For instance, a neighbor brings your mail in once while you're out and a week later asks to borrow your car for a long road trip. You feel awkward saying no because they did that nice thing for you. But their favor was minor and their request is major. By recognizing the imbalance and politely declining, "I appreciate you grabbing my mail, but I'm not comfortable lending out my car for long distances," you break the cycle of manipulation. You show that your generosity is not for sale and that your boundaries are non-negotiable. So, the next time you feel that urge to jump in and save the day, take a moment. Ask yourself, am I helping or am I enabling? Am I being kind or am I being used? Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's an act of self-preservation. True kindness empowers others. It doesn't create dependency. And the most valuable kindness you can ever show is the kindness you show to yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more insights into psychology and self-improvement. Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. See you in the next video. Achoo.